took a look at the Big 12 SEC Challenge, and they decided, you know what, the Texas Tech LSU game not going to be in prime time, not going to be the headliner. Texas Tech's lost 8 in a row. LSU's lost 7 in a row. Michael, watching LSU right now, frankly, it's a little bit painful. They just simply cannot score. One of these very desperate for a win basketball teams is going to get one Saturday. I just don't know if I can see LSU being that team.
It's so frustrating to watch them play, and you understand the limitations that the team has. You're just mad. I think I don't know. I feel mad watching that team. I feel mad for the guys. I feel mad because of the guys. I feel mad at the situation that the team is in. All while understanding that this is all part of the process to get back to some sort of normalcy, I guess, from what we expected. LSU basketball has never been great, right? I came to school here after Shaq, and I had some good teams, some ups and downs, but it's never been a consistent winner. And I think that's all LSU people wanted and felt like they might have some of that with Will Wade, and then that gets pulled out from underneath them. So at least the excitement was there. I feel now we're back to this boring defense-first basketball that's just not going to get people excited. And unfortunately, this team just cannot score, at all. So it's a double whammy of awfulness, right, or a quadruple whammy, whatever it is. But it's just terrible to watch, and that's tough for Matt McMahon, who's trying to build something. And this first season is just going to be an awful foundation.
No, they were a consistent winner in the 80s. Dale had about a 10-year run, 10, 12-year run where they made the tournament pretty much every year, made a couple of Final Fours, made a couple of Elite Eights, but it's been that long to go back to where they were. I think the frustrating thing, you can tell me if you feel this way, is there were a whole basket full of schools that got caught up in this FBI thing. Okay, Arizona got caught up, Kansas got caught up, NC State got caught up, Auburn got caught up, Oklahoma State, Louisville, and LSU. And actually Louisville wasn't even that thing; it was something else. And they may be the worst basketball team in the country, but the rest of those schools didn't take the body blows that LSU did. Some of them, had just basically said, "Oh yeah, whatever you think." Kansas did for sure, and went on about their way. And at LSU, for whatever the reasoning was, the tape, I guess, decided, hey, we gotta blow this whole thing up and start from scratch. And the other schools didn't have to do that. And I think that's where the level of frustration comes from.
Absolutely. I mean, most everyone else thumbed their nose at the NCAA. Even Will was willing to do that. And I think that probably made it worse, or certainly drew more attention to LSU because of that. And ultimately, Scott felt like, they needed to do what they wound up doing. But I mean, that thing was bungled from Joe Oliva on back. So that is the frustration, right? Finally got somebody, and say what you want about Will. A lot of people think he wasn't a great game day coach. I think great players make great game day coaches. And I don't know that you're going to ever convince me otherwise, but that, he had a confidence and an air about him that Tiger fans love, a little bit of cockiness, a little bit of swagger. And that's something that I think basketball hadn't had in quite a while, and it had people excited about the fact that they were in every game. The style of play, had them in every game. I just feel like right now I'm watching Trent Johnson 2.0, it's like, at some point, you're going to have to put a brand of basketball out there that's going to get people back in the building, get them excited about it. Because right now, Charlie, everyone's on women's basketball and they're looking towards baseball season.
Yeah, absolutely. And for me,
and that's not terrible, right?
There's a lot of things that you can look forward to here. My thing with the men's team, and we'll move on to baseball, is that I expected them to struggle this year. I didn't have any great expectations. They got ramped up a little bit when they beat Arkansas and played Kentucky close, but that ship sailed. My thing is, what are you building that you'll have in place for next year? What players are you looking at that are playing now that you're like, that guy's going to be a key piece for us next year, or this recruit is coming in who's going to really make a difference? And right now, I don't see a whole lot of that. There is the late period, and of course, there's a portal which has change everything instantly. But right now, look, I know what's going to happen when they play these last 8 SEC games. It ain't going to be pretty. They'll win a couple, but it ain't going to be pretty. I'm kind of looking to next year is like, what are you building? What do you got on the spaceship that's good that we can save that next year is going to make a difference?
Yeah, there's not a lot to be found, but I do think maybe you take solace in the fact that, like Will Wade said, you're no longer building programs, you're building teams, and you do have a chance to turn it around relatively quickly. But you have to keep some kind of morale, some kind of, they use the word culture too much. I think you're going to have to find some positivity either in the staff and the way that they work with the guys, to be able to get the players to campus, because you're right. Right now, it's just a train wreck. And look, Charlie, the other thing is we've been taking our medicine for the first, 4 weeks of this SEC slate. It's about to get a little bit lighter and, potential for some wins. LSU was in the meat grinder to start things. It's like the men's and women's schedules were exactly flip-flopped. All the cake was early on the women's side and all the tough stuff was in the front end. I don't think that this is a good basketball team. Don't confuse me, but I do think there are some wins still left on its schedule.